What's up, you guys? Today I'm going to talk about Saturn, okay? Because it just changed into Aquarius from Capricorn today. So even though I want to talk about Aries and Mars energy, that's my favorite. Having the energy, the fire, the get up and go attitude. I'm gonna talk about Saturn, which is a sit and stay attitude, which is a stay put attitude. Okay? Saturn is an energy that takes 30 years to go all the way around. So when you hit 30 years old, that's when you change your perspective and you become more of a productive individual in society, and people understand you better and you grow better and you become more strong mentally. And you're leading yourself in the way you want to be leading yourself finally. Because for me personally, that's how it worked. Because way past when, didn't know about astrology so much, like passionately. I just dabbled in it. Like I'm sure everyone else. I just dabbled in sun signs. Maybe a little more than everyone else. But still just about the same amount. Really no big old difference. But at 2 years ago, my wife asked me about my birth chart. And that activated something inside of me, because when we were getting to know each other, I've always been determined to find the perfect, because that's my Saturn energy. I have Sagittarius and Saturn. So I'm seeker. I've been looking for the perfect partner because of my Mercury in Libra, always looking for perfection. But Sagittarius, Saturn wouldn't let me sit down and chill, because Sagittarius doesn't chill, okay? They don't know what chill. So I'm trying really hard to do something, to communicate, to find that person. So I told my mom, I said just like this: don't take me to Job Corps. If you take me to Job Corps, I'm gonna end up in a relationship with someone I wanna be with. Don't do it, please. Because I don't want that. I wanna do what you tell me to do. And she puts me in Job Corps. You know? Okay, so I meet my wife, and I'm not super interested in her at all. I don't want to get to know her, but I feel led to. So as I'm getting to know her, I start to feel led by her to do stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm intuitive, Scorpio, sun. I'm intuitive. I know you're right for me. You're a Taurus. We're opposites. Opposites attract. You're perfect for me. Your signs are perfect. My signs are perfect. We're perfect together, period. No ifs, ands, no buts, no nothing. No coconuts, okay? We are perfect together, Jazz. So we're gonna get married and have a bunch of kids, and so that's what my brain said. That was about 10 years ago. So right now I'm 32. So I was 22. Okay. That was a while back, okay, guys? So when we hook up, blah, 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 jump up. But I forget to tell you guys, I always had this underlining thought. Every time we talk, we're not supposed to be together. But then the overarching one comes out, oh, my son and your son, oh, and then the underarching comes back. And it just keeps going back and forth. Reason being, we have the same big three. We have compatible big three. That's what I was looking at. That seems to be what the human mind and the body and the brain is able to comprehend, is that big three. Sun, moon, rising. That seems to be what humans are able to comprehend. Speaking from a Scorpio perspective, I'm supposed to be the deepest person, and that's all I can seem to understand is the big three. I'm sure that if you had Scorpio somewhere else in your chart, you have a different magnifying glass, but mine is in my sun. So, God damn it, I would love to get some guidance on whoever's opinion has a Scorpio anywhere else in their chart on how things really work, because I need some more breakdown here. My opinion is big three you see as a Scorpio when you look at people, automatically. That's just my opinion. It's just so prevalent. It's that driving force. It's Leo, Aries, and Moon. Okay, so your Leo is obviously going to shine through you. Your Aries is obviously going to be first before your Leo. And then your Moon's obviously going to be your emotional expression, right? That's what you see first when you meet anyone. Until you really get to know them. Okay. But by the time you really get to know someone, you're already in the relationship, and there's no going back after that. Everybody knows that. But anyways, the important thing though is that I've always felt that. But my wife and I have such a strong bond, it's kind of irrelevant. Maybe big three is most significant? I don't know. Something significant here, and it's really driving me and my family. So we're blessed. We have a blessing, hell of a blessing of a family, you know. And we've been blessed with our negative outcomes as well. It's not all roses and gumdrops, you know. Everything isn't always great. It wasn't always great, okay? Anyways, now stepping into my 30s, my Saturn return, okay? Check it out, Ed. So, when I hit my Saturn return, Jazz told me about her birth chart, right? And when she told me about her birth chart, I was like, she said it like this. I'm talking about something about astrology. I was just saying, blabbing off like I do about whatever I'm passionate about at the moment. And at that time, it was astrology, because I do have a tendency to dabble. I ask everyone about their sun signs. I did back then. Now I ask for birthdays and years, but I used to ask for everyone, every person I've ever met in my life, I know their sun sign. Okay? Every single person. When I started getting into that, and please don't make me get in, because I'll go deep, man. I was trying to Rolodex myself back to when I was little, but it's not really coming through too well. Because what's relevant right now is getting us to understand Saturn. Okay, so when I was talking about astrology with my wife, she's like, hey, why don't you look at our birth chart? Because I apparently mentioned that while we were talking. And I was like, fine, whatever, I'll humor you. Fine, I'll throw the dog a bone. Let's see what the dog does. I don't care. Whatever. That day I had talked to my friend and he said, dude, your energy's really off right now. Little did he know that my life at that moment had changed. In that moment, he knew he effed up. Changed his life. Seriously. I looked at her birth chart, and from Mercury to Saturn were my Mercury to Saturn. I compared them both together, and whoa, why? Why, bro? That's where my brain went. I was like, why? What? Okay, so that's why we don't communicate super great. That's why we're not super aggressive together. That's why we don't understand each other's work ethic that well. And that's why we never really focus on growth together. We separate when we focus on growth together. It has never made sense to me until that exact moment. And when I had accepted and recognized that, it took me a while. I even did a video on it, and I have it posted in here, you know. But when that Saturn return hit me, my perspective changed. Okay? I literally that week from then started posting videos, you know. Like, it was crazy because it was just such a big deal, you know. So that's how it works. That's how Saturn influenced me, Sagittarius. Okay. But if you're say Capricorn, for example, like Jazz, and a bunch of people in my class, if you're Capricorn in Saturn, the way it's gonna work for you is when you hit your Saturn return, more than likely you're already gonna be where you need to be, because Jupiter doesn't like to grow, okay? But it does love to learn, and it's always focused on bettering itself. It's super passionate about bettering itself. That's its goal. But working, they don't necessarily, I mean, you could kind of work and grow and mix them together. But as you can see in my past, I hadn't done anything that was really productive until I had met my wife, and she mentioned astrology to me and birth charts. When she mentioned birth charts to me, it changed my paradigm, and I've been working on producing videos ever since. And I have a crap load of videos that I just kind of just chucked off. They're just private. I don't want anyone to see them because they're not really that constructive. Okay. La-di-da. Back to Capricorn. You guys are blessed in Saturn. Okay. But right now, Saturn is in Aquarius. And Aquarius is an energy that Sagittarius can vibe with, obviously, because Sagittarius is the planet of growth, and Aquarius is a planet of interdimensional, like, sight, perspective. Aquarius has this perspective. They're ruled by Uranus and Saturn. So they have two rulers. Okay, so Aquarius is native in Saturn also, but it's native in a different light. Aquarius has this predisposition to do what's right for themselves, to exploit everything around them, to create their own life. So definitely lead by what drives you through this whole Saturn and Aquarius, which is going to be around 2 years, like 2.5 years, somewhere around that. So just lead by what drives you. So that's basically all you have to do. And Aquarius energy is cool with you, you know. Like for me, I wanna become more like an entrepreneur. So if I just lead by wanting to be that and having a lot of passion in doing that, then people will line up with me and we'll be able to communicate and we'll be able to kind of like climb off of each other and grow and develop in that light. I would say for anyone, that's how it would work out. For Capricorn, you guys have really good work ethic, so you guys are always working. So I don't see how it would affect you guys really in a negative light at all, because you guys work so hard, you know. One of my friends said something about how Sagittarius is super, like, how Sagittarius is super work averse. Sagittarius is not work averse, okay? He might be a little bit. It might be a little, okay? Sag might be a little work averse, but my brother's son is in Sag, and he works so hard for his self, for his friends, for his family, and he's always got his family's back, and he tries so hard, you know? And that's his son, so that's something to think about, okay? Sagittarius does work really hard. It just depends on what they're doing. If they're doing it for the right reasons, they'll do it. But if they're doing it for some reason that they don't really care about, you know, they're just going to be sitting on their butt. They don't really care about a bunch of stuff. But when they get to something they care about, just like with Aquarius, if the Aquarius is doing something they care about, they're not going to stop, and they're not going to let anyone stop them. Sagittarius is similar to that, but they will slow down and consider what's going on with other people. They're both really beautiful signs, and I'm super grateful to have this opportunity to talk about Saturn. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Saturn is one of the slowest moving planets. Okay, so we have a ways to go into Saturn. You guys are amazing. You guys keep fighting for yourself and learning more about who you are. And you all stay blessed.